Virginia. Do you know what the West Indian manatees are?
No, Cassie, what are they?
Well, West Indian manatees are large gray aquatic mammals with bodies that taper to a flat paddle-shaped tail. They have two forelimbs called flippers with 3 to 4 nails on each flipper. Their head and face are wrinkled with whiskers on the snout. Their closest relatives are the elephant and the hyrax, which are small gopher-sized mammals. The average adult manatee is about 10 feet long and weighs between 800 and 1,200 pounds. Their taxonomy is the kingdom is Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, infraclass Eutheria, order Sirenia, family Trichidia, and genus Triticus. Now their habitat is that they can be found in shallow, slow-moving rivers, estuaries, saltwater bays, canals, and coastal areas, particularly where seagrass beds or freshwater vegetation flourish. Manatees are migratory species, and they are concentrated in Florida in the winter, and in summer months they can be found as far west as Texas and as far north as Massachusetts.
Oh, really? Well, this is what I found about their food. West Indian manatees feed primarily on seagrasses. They will, however, eat leaves off of plants and small invertebrates and fish. Because grasses aren't very nutritious, they must eat large quantities every day. This has also given them a very slow metabolism, which causes them to be fat. Their predators, well, guess what? The manatees don't have any predators. Most manatees' deaths are the result of human activity. In some places, they are hunted for food, and the primary cause of manatees' death is motorboat accidents. So, issues affecting them are because of red tides, also known as blooms or proliferations. In 1996, a red tide was responsible for 151 manatee deaths. The epidemic began on March 5th and continued through April 28, wiping out approximately 15% of the known West Coast population of manatees. Manatees occasionally ingest fishing gear while feeding. These foreign materials do not appear to harm the manatees. Manatees can also be crushed in water control structures, drown in pipes and culverts, and are occasionally killed by entanglement in fishing gear, primarily crab pot float lines. Manatees are also vulnerable to red tides, blooms, or algae, often caused by pollution, which leaches oxygen from water. The main causes of death for the sea cows are human-related issues, habitat destruction, human objects, and natural causes such as temperature and disease.
Their ways to help are through conservation. All 3 species of manatees are listed by the World Conservation Union as vulnerable to extinction. It is illegal under federal and Florida law to injure or harm a manatee. On June 8, 2006, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission voted to downgrade its status to threatened in that state. While none of these state laws protecting manatees have changed, many wildlife conservationists are not pleased with the decision. Manatees remain classified as endangered at the federal level. Brazil outlawed hunting for them in 1973. In an effort to preserve the species, death by boat strikes are still common for them. Manatees were traditionally hunted by indigenous Caribbean people. When Christopher Columbus arrived in the region, hunting was already established trade, although this is less common today. The primary hunting method was for the hunter to approach in a dugout canoe, offering bait to attract it, close enough to temporarily stun it with a bow near the head from an oar-like pole. Many times the creature would flip over, leaving it vulnerable to further attack. From manatee hides, Native Americans made war shields, canoes, and shoes, though the manatee was predominantly hunted for its abundant meat. Later, manatees were hunted for their bones, which were used to make special potions up until the 1800s. Museums paid as much as $100 for bones or hides, though hunting was banned in 1893. Poaching continues today. But today, most governments make it illegal for hunting and make sure that no animal that's almost considered extinct to be not to be hunted.
Really now, did you know that females